Welcome back to another video of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Today I play some more Salamangreat because this is a deck that is most competitive and most free to play friendly deck. It has a structure deck, and so I'll be playing this a lot. So yeah, I go for the usual combo with Bailings. I did have Buffalo, so the best normal summon, because we will draw two cards and discard one, and the card we discard will have a effect on the graveyard, so it's just perfect. So off of it we go Sunlight Wolf, and with Sunlight Wolf we will take the roar from the graveyard. So of course we have to summon the second Sunlight Wolf off of the Sanctuary. The second Sunlight Wolf will add these to our hand. So we will have an Omen negate, we will have an Search negate. So we add Buffalo because it is the best card. I mean, we could have add Gazelle, but I went for Buffalo because I want to draw more cards in the third round, in my second round. So I went for Splash Mage, so I can summon Heat Soul. So I will draw cards. I will have an Omni negate. So I set Omni negate, then end the turn. I mean, I had the best hand possible. I mean, it's not easy to summon Sunlight Wolf and a Heat Soul in your first turn if you don't draw the God hand. So there is that. So we are against Floowandereeze. I hate this deck. So I am waiting for the Eagle because I can negate the Eagle and that just shuts down their gameplay. So they want to stop me negating the Eagle, but it doesn't work like that. It's not an effect filler, so it is still negated. So I negate this because this will let them tribute summon something, and they can use my monster for the tribute. So I just negate it, so they will have no place left. This is a card we must consider to destroy, and I believe we have a no, we don't, but we can have a Foxy off of the Silent Mining, so Foxy will destroy the Floowandereeze field spell. So I went with the second Splash Mage to summon. So I use Buffalo's effect and I get the Foxy, which you can see I just discarded. So I will special summon Gazelle and I will use Foxy's effect to destroy this. I use Splash Mage's effect to summon any Cyberus monster because its effect is negated. So I go for the, as you can see, I will use the Foxy's effect to destroy this. And I go for the Access Code Talker OTK at the moment. So I have Transcode Talker. Transcode Talker will summon a Splash Mage. I will use these two to summon the Access Code Talker, which will be target protection because it is co-linked with the Transcode Talker, which they can't target it with effect failure or any effect that has target. So from now on I just destroy these two cards and the attack so I just destroy one card, so I can, it doesn't matter, but I guess I wanted to preserve some graveyard material just for in case. So this is game. So second game. By the way, that target protection do matters because some games opponent really have an effect failure or a back row that target destroy or target banish. So if you can go for it, you should consider to go for it. So this is not a god hand, as you can see. I mean, we can't use the roar. We can use Solemn Judgment, which the moment I see sprite, I just negate the normal summon, so they lose their normal summon. And if they don't have a sprite starter in their hand, that just shuts them down. But I don't draw any Salamangreat combo starters. So at this moment on, I can only go for Max T to draw and Gazelle in the opponent's turn. Always nice to see. So I did stop their blue to search for Sprite, but they do have the triple tactics talent, which is a pot of grit on steroid, to be honest, because they have other effects they can use too. So our opponent does not go for the crazy board because we do have a Maxi, but they want to use the Sprite F on my turn, so they just let me draw one card, but I already drew Gazelle, Foxy, it was enough. From this point, it is just, so I negate Maxi, they go for starter, so I am guessing they will go for a negate at the moment. So I search for Jack Jaguar with Salamangreat Circle, so they go for negate, which negates, monster negates. I do have Salamangreat Roar. The moment I summon Bailings, I will have an on negate. So I can negate the Sprite Red. So at the moment it looks like I have access code OTK at the moment. So I will search the field spell they want to negate it. I think I will negate this because I want to keep the Bailings on board. So yeah, the effect is not that mattered, but Bailings has to stay on the board because it is a Salamangreat monster. So if we want to use the, I mean, it looks like it doesn't matter, but if we had a Spinny in the graveyard, it would have mattered, or Jack Jaguar, and we can use Jack Jaguar to summon here or anywhere. That's your link monsters points. So I was going for the access code talker, and they know what was going to happen, so they surrendered. So let's check the third game. I am trying to build an Exosister deck, and I want to also have the copies of the new Ishizu cards. So when they release tier elements, I will go for that deck because I mean I really like Dark Magician, but you can't fight the meta if you are not playing something strong, and sometimes you have to stay on the meta so you can get your free gems off of the ranked rewards and so on. So that's why I am saving it for. So anyway, let's get to the game. I am losing the focus. So we go for the trap card, I believe. Yeah, we go for Salamangreat Rage. Sometimes I go for the Roar, sometimes I go for Rage because I do have an Ash Blossom, so, and I do have a Cold Wife, so I think maybe I can go for Rage, which looks like I was right because I can just destroy these two cards and it just, and they misplayed by summoning this monster to this column because I can use now Salamangreat Sunlight Wolves effect. So I add Gazelle back to my hand and I destroy their monster, so they scoop. Okay, so let's check one or two games. One more games or two more games, then I'll end the video. So okay, we go second and we have Maxi, so maybe we can stop or gain a lot of cards. So we are facing against some Ishizu shenanigans at the moment, which hurts this deck a lot because we really need the graveyard effects, and they just screw over us in the graveyard because they can just shuffle back my Jack Jaguar, shuffle back my Foxy, shuffle back the Spinny. So this is actually a bad counter for us, but let's see how it goes. So they just go for the special summon, which gives us a lot of cards. Then they go for the runic place, so this is the runic Ishizu deck, so they will mill us like 10 cards, 20 cards in one round if they do have the combo, but looks like they don't. So Fulgun is here, so we can't destroy these cards with Foxy, but so we don't have the Foxy at the moment, but we do have Silent Mining, so there is that. So they go for the second runic fountain, so they will draw more cards. No, they don't have any other runic cards in their hands, I guess. So we can go for Buffalo because we want to draw cards, and we can ditch Spinny with Buffalo or Foxy with Buffalo. So I special summon Gazelle because I discarded the Jack Jaguar. So they do have a runic card in hand. So they discard the Spinny, which is okay for us. I mean, it's not that good because we could have used the Spinny for special summon Foxy from graveyard, but they already have a shuffler in the graveyard, so graveyard is not looking that good at the moment, but we'll see. So they let us search the field spell and draw two cards. So we discard Foxy, we draw two cards. So I go for Foxy's effect, so they will shuffle the Foxy, Spinny and Jack Jaguar, so we lose all the graveyard value we had. So it's only these two cards we have at the moment. But with these two cards we can go for Access Code Talker, but it wouldn't be a target protection Access Code Talker, so we go for the Sunlight Wolf instead. So we have two, one Omni Negate, one something close to Omni Negate, and one Imperman, one Cold Bite. So we go for the safe route. We will just negate whatever the opponent does. So we want to negate the Diviner of the Herald because they can go for the Ishizu cards. We don't want that. So I negate this summon because this is a tuner and I don't want them to go anymore of the extra deck. So they just pass the turn from this point, and I still have an Omni Negate. I still have a Cold Buy. So I go for the usual control style of the Salamangreat deck because they still have their field spell. That's why I didn't want to go for the Access Code Talker because it wouldn't have target protection. And yeah. So I do draw a Harpy's Feather Duster, which is good because I want to get rid of that field spell. So I go for a direct attack. Then I don't get the roar. Oh, I can't because this is not a relinked. I still have two more copies in the extra deck. So, and I don't have the field spell, so there is that. So I summon Balings so I can get the field spell, and I summoned it to the Sunlight's column, so I will get an Ash Blossom from my graveyard. And I do have the field spell, so I can now special summon the Sunlight Wolf with Sanctuary. So I can get the Roar from graveyard. I get Roar from graveyard off of Roar's effect, so I can get Rage from graveyard as well. So I will have an Omni Negate. I will have 2 Destroy. This doesn't target, I mean this does target the Sunlight Wolf, but destroys the card we destroys are not targeted, so there is that. So I summon Transport Talker, so do I go for the access code? Yeah, I go for access code. I mean, it will not have target protection, but they don't have the field spell anymore, so I don't care about them targeting. So I destroy this, and they do have the Fairy Tail Snow's special summon effect, but I do have a Cold Buy, so I can just negate Fairy Tail. So they will not get to see another turn. Yeah, that's game. Okay, let's check one more game, then that will be it. Okay, so we have the Rage in hand, so we can go for Roar in and that would be a if we got to go first, this was just game over with Descent, but we go second, so they do set up their board. They will have spell negate, monster negate, usual sprites board. They do have a Tri-Brigade engine in their deck too, so this is not sprite with Runic, so there is that. So they summon Tri-Brigade kit, so they can go for Gigantic Sprite. No, they go for IP Masquerena. They did summon Gigantic Sprite already, I believe. Yeah, they did. So yeah, the usual boards. They have double negate, 1 IP Masquerena. So we go for our combos. We reach Jack Jaguar, so we can special summon Gazelle. We search Gazelle, of course. So they go for card value with blue, because blue will add Sprite Jet into the hands, I believe. Yes, Sprite Jet. And they go for IP Masquerena. I wonder what they will summon. So they summon Aplosa, so they will have 4 monster negates. So I summon Buildings. Will they negate Buildings? They don't negate Buildings. I mean, they did have monster negate and spell negate that they didn't use, but they went for Aplosa, which I don't think that was the right call for them. But that's their business, so they just the moment they saw we were playing Salamangreat, they figured they could get away with Aplosa because they would just negate whatever we do. But at the moment I can just kill it with Jack Jaguar or Sunlight Wolf, then I will use their effects. So I mean, they just cleared their board for me actually. So we go for the second Sunlight Wolf off of Sanctuary. So we will add Roar to our hand. We have Rage, so we will destroy cards. We will have an Omni-Negate, but I went for Sanctuary. So I guess I don't have Roar in the graveyards. Yeah, I didn't send the Roar with Gazelle, so there is that. I went because they went for Aplosa, so I needed to lower the Aplosa's attack points. So I went for Teaching a Spinny or Jack Jaguar. So there is that. So we can lower the attack points of Aplosa. So we go for Heat Soul and Ash Blossom in the hand, and we have a Destroy, but they scoop. So as you can see, connection failed. You can believe that if you want. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.